I'd like to know more about you as well. I can already see that you're Imperial. So, where were you born and raised?
Alright guys, so this should be a pretty straightforward tutorial. So we want to open up the quest you're using of where you want to put your dialogue. So in this list, I'm going to show you the conditions of how to have an NPC address you or speak of the race you chose as the Dragonborn. But with that, I'm going to show you one other thing too. So here we go. You can see this dialogue right here. What do you want to know? This is one dialogue that you add and you can ask an NPC, whatever NPCs you're working with or follower. As you can see, I get all of these listed here. So it'll choose by what race you are. When you say this, it'll choose through this list with these conditions. So this one here, it will say this.
I can already see that you're Altmer. So, where were you born and raised?
So right here, we're going to add two different races. We're going to add get is race, high elf, equals 1. Run on the player. Now, if you were asking this to the NPC, instead, you just had subject. Right now, we're going to have the NPC address the Dragonborn. So this one is going to be run on player. But it will only choose that, and the reason these conditions are here, the NPCs will randomly say this dialogue if, of course, I have it as Gallus right now. That's who's saying it. Run on subject. You can see this here. Whatever NPC you want to say it, get his ID, the actor ID, equals 1, and then run on the subject. That means only that NPC can say it if you were putting this in for a follower. But here, it'll choose down through these conditions as it goes down through the list you created. So you have the high elf race, but you always want to choose the vampire version of that race, in case you chose the vampire side of the Dawn Guard, or you become a vampire throughout the game. That way, either way, it will still address you. That way, either way, the NPC will still address you as the race you are. I put each race in the list. So like here, as you heard in the beginning, my Dragonborn is an Imperial. So if we go to here, you can hear...
I can already see that you're Imperial. So, where were you born and raised?
So there you go. So it'll automatically choose to this list you're creating. To add a new one, just add new, like this, and then you open it up and add whatever you want in here. If you want to add a different race. Now the problem with... It's not really a problem, but with Skyrim modding, there are unique races. I was not going to go through a list of all the races and add the keywords for those. But what I did add, it was here. This is a long list of conditions. So if you can see on each one of these, get is race, race Argonian race equals 0. That means if they're not that race. So if they're none of the races in Skyrim, it's got to choose something else. So if it can't read the race you are, it'll say something like this. This is what your follower or NPC will say.
Sorry, but I have no idea what the fuck you are.
No, she's an asshole, but it's okay. But either way, whatever you chose. So if you chose an orc, and you were playing as an orc Dragonborn, you would get this here.
I can already see that you're Orsimer. So where were you born and raised?
This all leads to a question with Gallus. But this is to teach you how to have a NPC address you by the race you are. So as you can see here, the same thing. Get is race, orc race, equals 1, run on player. Again, we'll go over it again. Get is race, orc race vampire, equals 1, run on player. And then whatever NPC is speaking, get his ID, the actor ID, equals 1, and run on subject. So those conditions can allow the NPC to speak, address you in certain ways because of the race you are. So what I did in this is I wanted to make Dirtyborn so when she spoke to you, it makes her feel aware like she sees you. She doesn't really speak to you in just a default way. You could change, if you wanted to add this up, let's say we're a Dumner. to add a couple of, to say what else you could do. So here you have the same thing. All these conditions I just showed you. And if you're a Dumner, she'll speak to you like this.
I can already see that you're Dunmer. So, where were you born and raised?
All that leads, but if you want to add a different condition, let's say you want to add a get is sex. There you go. If you want to change this to this and change, let's say you were a female. Now, of course, you'd have to change the wording on this, but if you added this here, get is sex female equals 1, and then you run this on the player, now this would only be said if you were a female Dunmer. But, of course, I'd have to change the dialogue here. But these are options you can add with the conditions. Like I said, to me, dialogue is one of the most important things in Skyrim. Because it sets the stage for everything. It makes NPCs seem aware of you. Sometimes you have guards and other people address you by the race you are in Skyrim. But this is how you do it yourself. This is a pretty short tutorial. I just wanted to give you the basics of how this works. Alright guys, I'm going to go back into the game to show you the whole scene of how, when you approach Gellis, how she notices what race you are and asks you a question.
I'd like to know more about you as well.
What would you like to know?
I can already see that you're Imperial. So, where were you born and raised?
Cyrodiil.
It's known as a wealthy province. You must have plenty of stories. Only place I have visited there is Bruma. Is your family still living there?
No, my family has passed on.
I'm sorry. I know that feeling all too well. That's enough for now. We'll talk again later. Let's get moving.